What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you that don't know, my name is Danny. This is my 2016 Ninja 300 that I've had for about just over 2 weeks now. Fairly new rider, never rode before. I'm just going to talk about the motorcycle licensing in Ontario and my experience with it. So in Ontario, there's 3 levels of licensing, and it's pretty simple. So the first level, you get your M1 after you do a written test. Level 2 is called the M2, and you get that after you pass a road test with your M1, or you can take the motorcycle safety course, and after the course they do sort of a skills test, and if you pass, you get your upgrade to your M2. And then you have your M, which is your full license. Now, what's the difference between all 3? Well, for your M1, you're able to ride, but with some restrictions, obviously. So the restrictions for your M1 is you're not allowed to ride with a pillion or a passenger. The second restriction is you're only allowed to ride during certain times. So you can ride up until half an hour after sunset, and you can start riding half an hour after sunrise. So at night, pretty much when the sun goes down, you can't ride until the sun comes up. Also, for your M1, you're not allowed to drink. Your blood alcohol level should be 0. Anything above 0 is illegal, and you can get a ticket or get arrested. With your M2, you are able to ride anytime you want. There's no restrictions in terms of the times that you can ride. You can ride with a pillion or a passenger if you want, but your blood alcohol level is the same, should be 0. With your M, pretty much your blood alcohol level, you can have up to, I believe, 0.08 or 0.06, somewhere around there. So like 1-2 drinks maybe. What the test consists of is multiple choice questions. I believe for me it was 3 sections. I know when I took my driver's license written test, it was 2 sections. I don't know if it's 3 sections for motorcycles because I have my full G license for driving, so they also test you on the driving rules of the road. But for me, it was 3 tests. So for me, there was 3 sections. There was the section for rules of the road for drivers. There was a section for rules of the road for motorcyclists. And then the last section is road signs. So there's about 20 questions for the road signs, for the motorcycle rules, and I believe just over 20, like 21 or 22 questions for the rules of the road for drivers. I've been driving for about 15 years, so the rules of the road for drivers and also the signs were pretty simple. I aced those, but I had a little bit of a hard time with the rules of the road for motorcycles. The passing mark was 16 out of 20. I ended up failing by 1, which coincidentally, when I took my G1, I also failed by 1. Luckily in Ontario, they do allow you to retake the test right away, so I had to line up again, but I was able to retake the test the same day, and I passed it. I believe I got 19 out of 20 the second time around. And they only retest you on the sections that you failed, so I only had to do the 20 questions for rules of the road for motorcycles. So I ended up passing that. So I took the test March 1st, and that's when I got my M1 license. It lasts 90 days, but with lockdown, the government of Ontario did extend the expiration dates for all licenses, I believe. But I ended up booking my motorcycle safety course probably a couple days after, for the beginning of April. I believe it was the second week of April I booked it for. First week of April, we actually went into full lockdown for the province, so unfortunately the motorcycle safety course was not something that was running during lockdown, so I did have to wait. So that was kind of a bummer, but it is what it is, and I'm just glad that we're out of lockdown now, and I was able to take the course and was able to ride before the season ended. So the motorcycle safety course, it's a 3-day course in Ontario, usually 3 days, but it's 1 day in class where they teach you the fundamentals, go over best practices and stuff like that, and then it's 2 days in a parking lot on the bike. I had no experience on a bike prior to this. So with the motorcycle safety course, they teach you pretty much the basics of how to ride a bike, how to control your bike, slow speed maneuvers, clutch control, things like that. Having little to no experience on a bike, I found the information pretty valuable. So I took my safety course. The skills test that they put you through, if you take it through the government, the drive test center, is slightly different. I mean, I believe they test you on the same fundamentals, so slow speed skills, U-turns, starting, stopping, just basic stuff like that. But I believe it's a little bit more involved when you do take the motorcycle safety course, which is not a big deal because pretty much everything they test you on, they do teach you how to do. So once you get your M2, you have to wait at least 22 months before you can take the road test to upgrade to your full M license. You can take a motorcycle safety course, in which case, if you take that, you only have to wait a minimum of 18 months before you can upgrade to your M. So that's been my experience so far, and it's not hard to do. I mean, if you don't have any experience on a motorcycle, that's totally fine. That's how I started out. I have been driving for about 15 years, and I do drive a manual car, so I think that has helped in terms of the theory of clutch control, downshifting, and stuff like that. But it's all about your comfort level. As long as you get comfortable on the bike, as long as you're not, as long as you don't fear your bike and fear when you're riding. Obviously be careful if you're not too comfortable on your bike, but I mean, other than that, it's fairly simple to get your M1 and then go from your M1 to your M2. I've been enjoying this bike so far. Just rides like these, it's my day off, so I love to just take the bike out, even for a little bit. Alright guys, I think that's it for this video. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. If you guys have any feedback, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys want me to talk about, any topics that you would like me to discuss. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Take care.